Hello again, my YouTube friends. This is Ed the Finance Guy. How are you? I want to wish everyone a happy holiday. I hope you're having a great time. I know it's terrible right now with COVID, but you're with your family, you're home, you're seeing your kids more, you're with your family for meals, which you are normally not with them because you're busy working. So I'm hoping that this time everyone's starting to get closer to their family and things are looking better. You always have to look at the bright side. We're going to have a vaccine very soon. Things will change. So just stay healthy, stay smart, keep listening. I have some great information to give everyone. If you need me, have any questions, you can contact me at ed1959@usa.com, or you can call me 516-205-0722, and I'm glad to help. The first thing I wanted to talk about, these commercials that you see all the time saying, we're debt consolidation companies. You owe credit cards. You owe $50,000. We can settle for pennies on the dollar. We can do this. We can do that. You have to be very, very leery of commercials you see on TV. So I know a lot about debt consolidation and debt settlement and credit repair. And when I do credit repair for clients, I send letters to the credit bureaus, more or less denying a lot of the things that are negative on your credit report because I want to see the proof. Very often, items are incorrect. Your name might be very similar to other people's names. You could have liens on there that don't belong to you, that you don't even know about. And I see that all the time. I see very often companies like Verizon will put a $50 debt on your credit report saying you owe this money. And very often people will just pay things because they're small and they don't want it ruining their credit. So these debt consolidation companies, what are they really doing? You owe 5, 6, 7 credit cards and you can't pay them. Things are bad, you lost your job, you're on furlough. So you call up these companies and very often they'll tell you they only want to deal with people that owe at least $10,000. And the reason is they're charging you a really big fee. So if you owe $2,000, you're not going to pay a $2,000 fee. But if you owe $10,000, you might pay a $2,000 fee. But what they really do is they make your credit worse. They don't help your credit. If you call up these companies after you don't pay them for a period of time, it's usually with a settlement company or a collection agency. They're always willing to take 40 or 50% off whatever you owe, and you can make the payments over 3 months, or you can pay one shot, the 40 or 50%. The problem with the debt consolidation companies are they take the money from you on a monthly basis. They find out what you owe. They take the money from you every month and they put it in a separate account. But they don't use that money to pay the credit card companies or the collection agencies. They just let it accumulate in an account. So 5, 6, 7, 8 months go by, your credit's getting worse and worse and worse every time they're collecting money from you and they're not submitting the money. So they're waiting a year and a half of collecting money from you every month, and then they're calling up the collection agencies and say, listen, we represent so-and-so, he owes $4,500, we want to give you $2,500 to settle. Eventually, they'll take the money out of that account and then they'll prepay the amount that they settled for. So if they settled for $2,500 on a $4,500 debt, then they're going to take the money out of the money they accumulated, but they're also taking a huge fee from you. And they're making your credit worse and worse and worse because they're taking money from you. You're thinking that they're making settlements with the company, but they're not. They're holding the money and they're waiting a long time so this way they can settle for less. And the better deal they get, the more money they make. So if they settle in 6 months, they're going to pay X percent. If they settle in a year, they're going to pay less. If they settle in 2 years, they're going to pay a minimal amount, maybe 20 or 25% of whatever the debt is. And they will end up keeping the rest of the money. The problem is your credit report is going to show 60 days late, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. It's going to be worse and worse and worse and worse. And once you're in that situation, it's almost impossible to correct your credit because you've signed up with a company, you've admitted to the debt. So now they're just waiting for years to pay it and they're collecting money from you every month. And over the long run, you're going to probably pay 50% more than whatever you owe because of all the fees. So I definitely don't recommend these companies, and I'm sure I'm going to hear from some of these companies that say what I'm saying isn't true, but it is true. It's the way they do it. They wait for debt to be as overdue as possible, and then they'll make that settlement. And again, if you settle for 15 to 20 cents on a dollar and you owe them $10,000, the difference, whatever you're not paying, is considered taxable income. So if they take $1,500 on a $10,000 debt, you have to pay taxes on $8,500, which might cost you $3,500. So in reality, you're still paying 50 cents on a dollar. It's better to wait 6 months, do it yourself, call up the company and say, listen, I owe $7,000, I have $3,000 to send you. Can we make a settlement? And if the company says yes, you do not send the $3,000 until you get a letter from them saying, we're willing to accept $3,000 as payment in full. So your credit report shouldn't say settled for less than full value. It should say settled in full. It's a very, very big difference in your FICO score. So your scores will be much better if you can have it say settled in full. That's what you want to do. So you have to be very, very leery of these companies that advertise on TV. You should obviously research them, go online, see if there's any complaints, and you'll see a lot of complaints on a lot of debt consolidation companies. So I would say stay away from these companies, try to do it yourself, and believe it or not, filing for bankruptcy is not the worst thing in the world, and it's probably better than dealing with these debt consolidation companies, because once you file for bankruptcy, either all the debt is wiped away, or you're in some kind of a payment plan with a company that will make the payments for you, custodian, and then that money will be sent every single month to the credit card companies. But once you file for bankruptcy, the other companies that want to give you a loan will see that you have no debt because you filed for bankruptcy, and you can't file for bankruptcy again for 7 years. So you're a good risk. So I know people that filed for bankruptcy in January, and in June they got credit cards from the same exact companies because they know that you can't file bankruptcy a second time, so they're willing to give you the credit card. So when you file for bankruptcy, every bad thing that you have is really evaporates. It's not on your credit report, it just shows in bankruptcy. When you're with a debt consolidation company, it's going to be on your credit report for 3 years that you're not making payments, and it's going to be much worse to fix your credit. So filing for bankruptcy, believe it or not, is much better than dealing with the debt consolidation companies. And also, when you file for bankruptcy, it's easier to get new credit cards than it would be when you're with a debt consolidation company. People don't like to see that on your credit report, especially mortgages or car loans. They see debt consolidation, they don't like that. So again, it's something I would avoid. If you have any questions on a personal level and you want to know about your situation, please send me an email, ed1959@usa.com. I'm here to help, and I hope everyone has a great holiday. Stay safe, be smart, and tune in next time. This is Ed the Finance Guy. Have a good day.